Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ahlan wa sahlan. Welcome, my friends. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day. My name is Liaquat. This is Roots of Knowledge, and here is where I try to teach you guys everything that I've learnt about Islam, especially when it comes to certain subjects like fiqh. So today's lesson is about Fiqh Mukhtasar al-Qudoori, a Hanafi text that is taught in all of the Hanafi madaris. So without any delay, if you guys have not been watching the videos, please check them out from the beginning. Hit the like, subscribe button, and let's crack on then. And also, if you enjoy these videos, make sure you leave a comment in the comments below. So let's start from this instance. وَإِنْ كَانَ الْغَالِبُ عَلَى الدَّرَاهِمِ وَالْفِضَّةِ. So ghalib means dominant. Okay, so dominant, and fidda is obviously this word has come before as well, silver. And then you have again fidda. Dananir is gold coins. Dhahab is gold. Yu'tabaru means considered. To consider. Right, so considered. Fihima min tahrim and tafadul. So this word has come many times before. Tahrim means something which is unlawful. Unlawful, haram in other words. Okay, so unlawful. Tafadul means excess. Or it is an imbalance, excess on one side. Jiyad means good quality. This is from the Jama of Jayyid. Okay, Jayyid, which means good quality. وَإِنْ كَانَ الْغَالِبْ عَلَيْهِمْ الْغِشْ. Ghish means an alloy, mix, something else that is mixed with it. فَلَيْسَ. So you got laysa, you know what that means, not. Darahim, silver coins, gold coins. Urud, it means non-currency. So non-currency. فَإِذَا بِيَتْ. So this is بِيَتْ. Okay, so بِيَتْ. بِجِنْسِ مُتَفَاضِلًا means excess. جَازَ وَإِنْ اشْتَرَى سِلْعَةً. سِلْعَةً means goods. Okay, so goods. كَسَدَت means it becomes out of use. Okay, so out of use. Taraka an-nas, or you can say like, you know, bankrupt. Not really bankrupt, but the price devalued. Taraka an-nas al-mu'amala. Mu'amala means dealing. Not drug dealing, but dealing. قبل القبض بطل البيع. Okay, بطل means to become void. قيمة is the market value. يوم البيع قيمة آخر يتعامل from the word معاملة. يجوز بيع بالفلوس. Fulus means sub-currency. A sub-currency. نافقة means in usage. Currency that is in usage. وإن لم يعين means to specify. This word has come before as well. Guys, if you guys know where this word has come before, and you guys have been watching and learning the lessons very carefully, then let me know. Okay, so kasida means it's lost its value. But fulus, nafiqa, kasida, okay, khalas. Right, this is done then. So now let's have a look at the second part, which is, let's do the tarkeeb. Tarkeeb is something you guys like, don't you? Tell the truth. Be honest. Guys, be honest. Okay, so let's do tarkeeb part of this then. So, وَإِن كَانَ الْغَالِبُ اسم of كَانَ على الدراهم على الدراهم الفضة. Yeah, so فضة is the khabar of كان. فهي مبتدأ في حكم so this is مضاف إليه. Okay, I hope you guys can see this, and this is large enough. Or do you want me to make it larger? Shall I make it larger? And I think this. Let me know, guys, know in the comments if this is large enough for you guys. وإن كان الغالب على الدنانير الذهب. كان الغالب على الذهب. فهي. Now you can actually make this other way around as well. Okay, so you can say إن كان الغالب الذهب. Right, and that was just bringing المقدم, but we're going to use the normal technique, which is the first word we're going to make it into the ism of كان. فهي في حكم الذهب ويعتبر فيهما من تحريم التفاضل ما يعتبر في الجياد. ما يعتبر في الجياد وإن كان الغالب عليهما غالب عليهم الغش. Okay, خبر. فليس, this is dual times 2, في حكم الدراهم والدنانير. فهما في حكم العروض. فإذا بيئت مجهول. Okay, بيئت بجنسها جار مجرور متفاضلا. This is the حال. جاز وإن اشترى بها سلعة مفعول به. ثم كسدت في الفاعل. ترك الناس في الفاعل. المعاملة مفعول به. قبل القبض بطل البيع عند أبي حنيفة. وقال أبو يوسف عليه قيمتها يوم البيع. وقال محمد عليه قيمتها آخر ما يتعامل الناس. So آخر ما يتعامل من آخر. So this is actually نزع الخافض, you can say. Let me know what other possibilities we could have with this. So I've said I think it's going to be mansoob, right? آخر ما يتعامل الناس. But you guys let me know what you guys think. بها. ويجوز, so يجوز البيع بالفلوس النافقة موصوف صفة. وإن لم يؤين. وإن كانت كاسدة لم يجز البيع فاعل حتى يؤين. Now this is a fatha. Anyone know why we give fatha to this? يؤين. وإذا باء في الفاعل بالفلوس النافقة ثم كسدت قبل القبض بطل البيع عند أبي حنيفة. Okay, so let's do the explanation now. So let's make this a bit bigger then. Try to explain what's happening over here. So this masala is talking about the issue with regards to إن كان الغالب على الدراهم الفضة. So now let's say for example you have a coin. Yeah, so I'm trying to find the silver color but can't seem to find silver. So let's say for instance this is silver color. Yeah, this is my silver coin. Okay guys, yeah, so this is a silver coin. Now as you know, silver coins are actually made up of different metals, because silver on its own is going to become too malleable, it's going to be too soft, right, to be able to do anything with it. So what happens is that let's say for example 99% of it is silver, and then you might have, I don't know, let's say 1% is something else. This is what we call ghish. Now we call this ghish, the alloy, right? So he says in كان الغالب على الدراهم, if the predominant on the coin is fidda, فهي في حكم الفضة, then it will be in the ruling of silver. What is the dominant? Dominant is basically 50%. So long as 50% or so not 51%. Yeah, so 51% is silver, then it's silver. But if the ghish is 51%, if ghish is 51%, then it's going to be in the ruling of alloy. It's not going to be silver. Even though there's silver in there, it won't be treated as being in the ruling of silver. Does that make sense? This is why he's saying, وَإِن كَانَ الْغَالِبُ, if the dominant metal on the silver coins is fidda, silver, فَهِيَ فِي حُكْمِ الْفِضَّةِ, then the coin will be in the ruling of silver. وَإِن كَانَ الْغَالِبُ, if however the dominant on the, gold coin. Right, so let's do a gold one then. Right, so let's say for example we have a gold, so a gold coin. Okay, so, and the dominant in there is, let's say, I don't know how much should we put, 51% or more, then it's going to be in the ruling of gold. So 51% 49% alloy, then it's going to be considered to be in the ruling of gold, right? So this is what we call 12 karat gold. Right? 12 karat gold is where there is just more than 50% gold in there, right? So if it's most of it is gold, more than 50% is gold, then it's in the ruling of gold, right? So he says, al-dhahabu. One second, let me just get this. Gotta do all in the same color, guys. OCD kicking in here. So, in kan al-ghalib, if the ghalib on the dananir is the jam of dinar, which means gold coin, al-dhahab is gold, فهي في حكم الذهب, then it's going to be in the ruling of gold. Okay, so just bear that in mind. Whatever the dominant metal is in that particular compound, then you're going to call it by that name. That's basically the rule. Okay. So then he says, وَيُعْتَبَرُ فِيهِمَا. So if the dominant is silver, or if the dominant is gold, then it's going to fall under currency. Right. So now we're going to call these two. We're going to call them currency. Then the ruling of currency now. So all the rulings of currency apply to them. Remember we mentioned this before, that when you exchange them, they have to be the same amount and blah, 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 all those things, right? So you have to exchange. If it's silver for silver, it's got to be, equal and on the spot exchange. And if, however, it's gold for silver, then it at least has to be on the spot, right? So this is what he says, وَيُعْتَبَرُ فِيهِمَا مِنْ. And it's considered in these two, where the dominant, تحريم التفاضل, the prohibition of excess, meaning they have to be equal. ما يعتبر, that which is considered in jiyad, in premium quality. So low quality silver, meaning 51% quality silver, is going to be treated as 99% quality silver. 51% gold is going to be treated as 99% gold. Exactly the same rules. وإن كان الغالب, however, if the ghalib عليهما is the ghish, right? In kan al-ghalibu alayhima al-ghish, meaning if the ghish is dominant, right? So ghish is obviously this, if that's dominant, if that's 51% or more, فَلَيْسَ فِي حُكْمِ الدَّرَاهِمْ وَالدَّنَانِيرِ. They will not be in the ruling of silver coins, gold coins. You can't call them silver and gold anymore now. You have to call them something else. فَهُمَا فِي حُكْمِ الْعُرُوضِ. They will be in the ruling of urud. Urud means they'll be in the ruling of non-gold and silver currency, right? Just pieces of metal, basically. Piece of copper, pieces of, aluminium, steel, iron, whatever you want to call it. All right, so that's basically the rule. That if there is 51% or more of whatever metal there is, then it's going to be in that ruling. Okay, so now what if these coins? So let me just draw these coins here. So you got this coin, and this coin consists of how much do we say? 51%, yeah? 51% of ghish, meaning you can say 51% of non-silver, non-gold. And on the other side, we have, let's say, I don't know, how much is it? 49 rather, yeah? 49% of other, meaning silver or gold. So now it's going to be in the ruling of non-currency. So if it's non-currency, it's basically like, imagine me selling a pen, giving a pen to someone for a car, or giving a book to someone. It's like that. All right, so he says, so what's going to happen? فَإِذَا بِيئَتْ, when it is sold, بِجِنْسِهَا, in exchange for its own genus. So you want to sell, let's say, let me just quickly. Okay, so you got that. Alright, so you got, let's say, two of those. You want to sell two of those for each other. That's fine, no problem. Mutafadil, you can sell it in excess, jaza. Right, so no problem at all. You can sell it as you like, because now they're not going to be treated like sarf items. Yeah, that's basically what all this is about. Okay, now let's move on to the next masala. This is straightforward, I think. The next one just need to pull up your thinking socks, inshallah. I'm sure you guys are all wearing your thinking socks. Were you thinking caps? Yes, thinking caps, isn't it? Thinking caps. Now, if with these coins, right, so let's say, for example, let's take these coins. So this is our non-gold silver coin, right? So we have this. And someone has done a trade, right? So let's say, for example, someone has, I don't know, has sold or bought a laptop. Yeah, let's give that. And this guy's going to give this. All right. The problem is this is not currency, is it? This is just like bartering, almost like bartering, isn't it? So it's a non-currency. Yeah, it's like, for example, imagine you bought a car for I don't know, like a bench. I don't know. Someone buys a car for a bench. What's going to happen over here? So he will have to obviously give this to this guy, right? But let's say this happens on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So the deal actually goes ahead on Monday. Monday, this has been sold. And because it's not sarf, you don't have to give it in the gathering, is it? You can give it like later on. It's not sarf. So what happens is, the guy promises, you know what, on Friday, Jummah, after Jummah, I'll give you this coin. All right, so basically that's when I'm going to give you. Now the problem is, what happens is, before he actually takes possession of the coin on Friday, on, I don't know, let's say Wednesday, this coin, people stop using it now. Yeah, they stop circulation of this coin. This coin actually becomes redundant. Like imagine £5 notes in the UK stops working anymore now. So you bought something for £5. You're meant to give the guy the money on Friday, but on a Wednesday, it stopped working. Now what's going to happen in this case? So he says, in ishtara biha sil'atan, if this person was to buy goods with this coin, thumma kasadat, and then on Wednesday, the coin was out of circulation, it stopped. وَتَرَكَ النَّاسُ الْمُعَامَلَةَ بِهَا, and people stopped using it even. So Wednesday, stopped circulation, there's no more coins, people stopped using them. Right, that's it now. قَبْلَ الْقَبْضِ, prior to qabd was supposed to be on Friday. Right? بَطَلَ الْبَيْءُ عِنْدَ أَبِي حَنِيفَةَ. So according to Imam Hanifa, he basically straightforward just says, right guys, if this happens, Abu Hanifa, he says that transaction is over, finished. Yeah, he goes, transaction's over, khalas, you have to give the laptop back, and if you want to do a new transaction, you have to do it with something else now. Right? Because his argument is, basically, how are you going to be able to replicate this? Yeah? How are you going to be able to replicate this? This coin, you don't know what it's worth. As in, it's lost that value that the people had in the society. It's not gold, it's not silver. At least gold and silver has an intrinsic value that it holds. That's the problem that we have with notes today. So if you were to buy something like a house for, I don't know, £100,000, what happens is, I'm just like giving an example here, right? So imagine, for example, you try to buy a house for 100k pounds, yeah? And you said to the guy, I'm going to give you the money at the end of the year. And he said, fine, which you can do. But then that money, there was a war broke out, and all that money now is no longer has any value. So what's going to happen here? So Imam Hanifa says, basically, you got to break the contract, because how is it possible that you're going to give that guy something which equals 100k when that money is no longer in circulation? It's no longer in value. So that's his argument. So the same thing over here. Let's go back to this. The same thing applies over here. Abu Hanifa rahimahullah says straight, he just says, if the currency, which is non-gold and silver, remember, it's based upon how people use it, it's over. Now Imam Abu Yusuf rahimahullah, let me choose another color for him. So Abu Yusuf, let's do him in a gold color. Abu Yusuf says, no, what you do is, the day on which the transaction took place. So this is AY, okay, so you guys can see 2 dots there. So Imam Abu Yusuf rahimahullah says, the day that the transaction took place, which was a Monday, on that day, what was the value of the laptop based on other items in the world, in the country? So on that day, what was the value of the laptop? So value, market value of the laptop on that particular day, on that Monday. So he's basically saying, all you have to do is you go back in time, you find out on Monday, well, obviously you don't have a time machine, unless you guys got one, then please let me know. So, you basically find the value of that laptop. Obviously, you can't find it in this particular currency, but you're going to find it in something else. On Monday, what was its value in dollars or in Saudi riyals? What was its value? And then that's what you use. وقال أبو يوسف رحمه الله عليه قيمتها يوم البيع. So he says the day of the transaction, that's the value you're going to use. So we got a second opinion now. Okay, a third opinion. Imam Muhammad's opinion. Now, what does Imam Muhammad say? He says what you do is you find out the last time people were using that coin, that particular currency. Well, we're going to call it currency because in our times it's easier to understand. Yes. So let's say on Tuesday was the last day that people used it. So Imam Muhammad says on Tuesday, whatever it was worth on Tuesday, not the laptop, but that pinkish coin, whatever it was worth, whatever 100k was worth on that day. 100k of those coins was worth that. So let's say, for example, 100k of those was worth, I don't know, 90k dollars or euros, 90k euros. You say, okay, that's what we're going to use. So you see the three different opinions? Khalas. That's basically it. So he says, وَقَالَ مُحَمَّدٌ, Muhammad says, عَلَيْهِ قِيمَتُهَا, he has to give the value آخِرَ مَا يَتَعَامَلْ بِهِ النَّاسِ. عليه قيمة, upon him is its قيمة من آخر ما, or في آخر ما, on the last day upon which people were trading in it. So whatever was the last day that they were trading in, that's basically what you're going to use. Okay? Alright. Khalas, makes sense? This is a very nice masla as long as you understand these three opinions. Abu Hanifa rahimahullah says batil, end. Imam Abu Yusuf says you look at the value of the item on the day when you did trade. And Imam Muhammad says you look at the value of the currency on that day. Okay, so عليه كسدت عليه okay, so let's move on to the last masla, right? Last one now. Alright, so he says ويجوز البيع بالفلوس النافقة وإن لم يعين وإن كانت كاسدة لم يجوز البيع بها. So here now he's mentioning a different masla. What's this masla? In fact, let me just put this over here. More space. So he's saying, so let's say for example in a society you have various types of coins in usage. You have, let's say, gold coins, you have silver coins, and you have these other types of coins out there, right? Which is the ones that we did above. And then you have a sub-currency, right? So you have this sub-currency, which is like, small. So like, like what a 50 pence is, 20 pence is to a pound, or I don't know, 50 cents is to a dollar. So it's like that. So these are the sub-currencies. These are, and call these sub-currencies. These are sub-currencies. It's called fulus nafiqa. It's a similar concept, but these do not contain any of these. They're just basically fulus nafiqa. Fulus just means sub-currency coins, non-gold, non-silver. Right? So he says, is it permissible to use these to buy and sell things? Are you allowed to use these to buy and sell things? He says, of course, yes. Yajuzu, saying it's permissible. Al-bay, to do transactions bil fulus nafiqa, with these. وَإِن لَمْ يُعَيَّنْ, even if they have not been specified in the contract. Like, even if you have not specified them, you can use them in society. Like, for example, let's say someone buys a laptop, and someone says, I'm going to give you 50 fulus. I'll give you 50 fulus. 50 fulus. And you haven't specified, you haven't shown them exactly these are the ones. Then it's not necessary. You can show them if you want. You don't have to. As long as you've said it, that will be considered to be permissible contract. وَإِن كَانَتْ كَاسِدَةً, however, if these coins are no longer in circulation now, 20, 30, 40 years ago, people stopped using these. لَمْ يَجُزْ الْبَيْء بِهَا, then you can't sell them until you specify them. You have to show the person what you're giving them. They have to be specified. So in other words, if they are in circulation, so let me just try this. So these are in circulation, right? So I put circulation. And if, however, they are not in circulation, then you have to do ta'yin. So ta'yin is like, for example, let's say I want to buy a laptop off you for a book. I have to show you the book. I have to present it to you. So that there's no arguments in there. وَإِذَا بَاعَ بِالْفُلُوسِ النَّافِقَةِ, and if a person does use these coins over here, like we mentioned these ones over here, they were to use these, but then they kasadat, like the previous masla, if you remember that one Monday, Tuesday one. So let's say Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You did a deal on Monday. Monday you did the deal. You're supposed to give the money on Friday, these coins, right, the fulus circulation ones. And then ثم كسدت, and then they basically are out now. قبل القبض بطل البيع عند بيع. Again, the same concept. According to Imam Hanifa, the trade would now become void because you can't provide that what you promised to that person. Okay, and that's it, guys. There you have it. I hope this makes sense to you guys. Let me know if there's any questions you guys have or anything you haven't understood. Maybe I can try and explain it better in the comments. Next lesson. Let's just summarize now. What did we cover today then? So what's the main things that we need to understand here? So questions for you guys. What's the ruling of a coin that is silver? Yeah. So if it's more than 51% or more, then it's in the ruling of silver. And what about the ruling of a gold? When is a coin considered to be gold? So a coin is considered to be gold when it's 51% or more. Okay, next question. What if a coin has more alloy in there than gold or silver? What's its ruling? Then it's called maghshush, ghish. It's called ghish. And does it work in the same way that gold and silver work? No, it doesn't. Meaning you can actually have more of them when you're exchanging, right? So you can have more on one side and the other side when you're exchanging these, right? So now this is a very important masala to understand if you want to understand the ikhtilaf with regards to currency in today's times. How does notes work? So fiat currency that we have today, notes, how do they work? Are you allowed to give £5 for £10 or not? So this is an ikhtilaf between contemporary Hanafis in the last, when it first kind of started picking up in the last 100 years, where one group of Hanafis actually said notes are actually in the ruling of fulus. They're actually in the ruling of non-gold and silver currency. So technically you can give as much as you like. That was a position that was held by some of the Hanafis. And then there's other Hanafis out there who said no, they're not, right? And they said they are in the ruling of gold and silver in today's times, even though they're not backed by gold and silver anymore. So that's an interesting discussion. I don't want to go into this discussion here because this is not the right place for it. This is Qudoori. Inshallah, when I do Hidayah, I'll go into a lot of detail about this contemporary issue. And there are actually works that have been written on this in detail by scholars. And what I'll do is, if anyone's interested, they can contact me, inshallah, and I can send you a document. Okay, so he says, okay, this is the next question is, what happens if these coins, these rich coins, these non-gold and silver coins that you have, what if you bought something with them, but now they've gone out of circulation now and they stopped being used? Then what? Abu Hanifa says that the transaction is considered to be void. Yeah. And according to Abu Yusuf, he says you look at on the day of when you use them, what was its value? And Imam Muhammad says no, you look at the last time people started using it, what was the value? Right. So that's the three difference of opinions. Okay, what's the ruling of non-gold and silver currency? Sub-currency, we call it sub-currency. What about sub-currency? Things that are less than the gold and silver. So in them days, they used to have this little currency they used to give to each other. Like we have 50 pence and 20 pence and 5 pence and 1 pence. These are the things that they used to use. Okay, so the ruling of that is the same. That if it's in circulation, it's in the ruling, then ta'yin does not have to be done. You can use them. But if they're not in circulation, ta'yin has to be done. You have to specify them. Yeah, you have to specify them in order for the transaction to go through. Okay, I will stop there, guys. So jazakumullah khair, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this lesson. Let me know if you have any questions or anything. Leave them in the comments below. And thank you to my patrons for all the beautiful support you guys show my channel. May Allah bless you guys, put barakah in your lives. As you can see in the corner over there, You can see just faintly the YouTube plaque. May Allah keep all of you guys happy. If anyone wants to support my channel, please, it means a lot to me. Think about it. Share my videos with others as well, and you can find the details of how to support my channel in the description below. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.